Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new Let's Play on the channel. I'm the Ninja Stalker, and this is... if it'll pop up. You can probably tell what it is, so I'll just go ahead and say it. This is ArmA Cold War Assault, otherwise known as Operation Flashpoint Cold War Crisis, but on the ArmA 3 game and engine. I received a comment on my World of Tanks gameplay from Danger123566. Man, I'm terrible with names. You guys know this by now. But yeah. So, told me that, hey, are you gonna play Operation Flashpoint Cold War Crisis or Cold War Assault on
I was listening to that.
Wow, okay, so this guy is
Hey, you guys,
oh wow,
enough
this
already.
guy's
It's bad enough being cooped up in this miserable lump of rock without having to share it with
said if I was
two
gonna
of
play it,
you.
and I was like, oh, I didn't know that it was out, so yeah, I'll play it. Oh wait, it's loading. Is it loading in? Yeah, it's
Shut
loading the
up,
characters
you might
in.
learn
Okay, so
something.
yep, they're there.
For 3 days of negotiations, representatives were successful on measures to curb inflation, but were unable to reach a consensus on a global anti-drugs program. The U.S. President Ronald Reagan described the talks as a major step forward.
Oh,
Over in the
nah.
Soviet
Pipe down,
Union,
children.
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and interrupt it. We don't really need to listen to this because we've heard it so many times on my ArmA Cold War Assault, ArmA Rearm Cold War Assault, ArmA 2, and now there's this. So we've heard it all. We've seen it all. The only difference is we got graphics, engine, and all that. This is all totally different. You know, the issue that I see here is that these guys are wearing the ACU digital camo pattern.
has won the World Ice Hockey Championship.
They're not wearing the jungle BDUs.
Home in Prague.
Meathead.
You stink, Fowley.
I don't know, Armstrong. If our tour wasn't up next week, I'd seriously consider swimming home.
What is this, a tea party? You ladies were due on the parade ground 10 minutes ago. Now get your asses out there or I'll have them stitched into footballs and kick them from here to New Jersey.
Yeah, their uniform pattern isn't correct. It needs to be fixed. I can see the gores here. They're the whatever those are. Those gores? I want to say they're gamma gores. Those gamma gores there are the right color pattern. I call them gamma gores because this is what my father told me that those were. So I believe him. You know, you might tell me that there's something else, but I've always known them to be gamma gores. But their uniform pattern is not correct for Cold War.
That's more like it. If I were a Russian, I'd take one look at you.
Also, I'm
bunch
playing
of
this with a
schoolgirls
remote
and
control.
laugh all
I
the
got my
way to
PS3
the
control
US of A.
connected to acting
You
as a
boys may be
Xbox
flying
controller.
home next week.
I'll give it a
But if
try.
I send
Why
you
not?
back like this, Uncle Sam will think we're running a holiday
Maybe the
camp out
PC
here.
controls might
so
be better.
before I ship you out, I'm gonna shape you up. Armstrong, if anyone needs to shape up, Armstrong, it's you. I've
What?
seen
That's
sumo
Armstrong?
wrestlers with flatter stomachs than yours.
That's what he's gonna look
Can you
like?
see that truck over there, soldier? Can you? Sprint there. Now move your ass.
Alright, hopefully I get the controls right. Man. Ah, shit. Okay, so there's some things you can do with the remote control, some things you probably shouldn't do. Let's see. Inventory. We have, yeah, there's nothing we can change. Patrol, PC, UCP, armor level. Okay, we got them thingies. Okay.
Armstrong, you see that truck on the left?
Bruh.
Run to it and back. Hurry up.
Okay, so it's giving me those, but I think... Oh, shit. Okay, so that gives me that. Isn't there a lean button? There is a lean button, but it's on the keyboard. What would it be on the frickin'... Open in hand. I can't lean while I'm doing this on the remote control. It just won't. Oh, okay, so that's crouch. Are you serious? I can't lean. I have to. Man, all right. You know what? It's probably better. It's probably better that we use the keyboard. I could see possible advantages to doing it like that. Can I go in a third? Yeah. All right, hold up. Is there because he's always aiming it up. Isn't there? Oh, wow, I can sit. Forgot about that. And it says we have the M16A4. I don't. They didn't have that in the Cold War. I think it was the A1 during the Cold War. You know what? Hold up. Where's the? Is it inventory? Is there info? You better put that back on, bruh. They don't have an info or history. Like that one. Okay, so it's 3-round burst or that. Okay. You know, he's pretty patient. I'm also noticing that they have their uniforms tucked in because I can see their belts. Yeah, I don't like how. Let me see something. I'm just testing out the controls. Give me a sec. Give me a fucking second here. Shit, excuse me. I could have sworn that there was a button that you can press that'll have the gun lower down instead of being, you know, aimed up. I'm just trying to figure out what the freaking button is. Yeah, see, he's got it down now. But do I have to sit in order to do that? No, that's not going to work. I could have sworn that there was a button that you can... Okay, so that brings it up, but there's got to be a way to put it back down without actually sitting down. Gives a salute. That doesn't do it. Does that do it? No. Oh, God, it's going to drive me crazy. Whatever.
Okay, Armstrong, now run back. Move! Move!
Can't get ammo. Okay. I do like how in this game they have the stamina, so you can't run forever. Actually, what am I talking about? The first ArmA.
Get back in line and put your gun on your back.
Oh, okay, so you saw me move without moving there with my feet. I was doing the
There's a truck waiting for us by the gate. Hurry up.
I was doing like some scary movie grudge shit. Yeah, but the first ArmA game, you had a stamina thing, so I don't know what I was talking about. But I like how in here it shows your stamina. Otherwise, in the first game, you wouldn't know how long it took. You'd have to time it out. How far you can run doing this sprint. But this actually shows it, so that's pretty cool. And it's also based on the kind of weapon you have, because I believe in the ArmA 3, the more heavier stuff you have on you, the more supplies and equipment, you're not going to be, you know. Let's see, I guess how long we're gonna play this for? I don't know. Because I kind of want to play World of Tanks again. I kind of want to play Star Wars Republic Commando. I want to get started on that. I don't know. There's like another game or two, maybe. I don't know. There's also Star Wars Republic of War that I'm kind of uploading. Now this truck that we're in, what was it in the original game? Did he call it the 5-ton truck?
We've heard there are unknown forces on Everon, sir.
You must be ready for
I
anything.
think it's the 5-ton truck. I'm not
Shooting
sure.
for war?
Because I know they got a deuce and a
Ready
deuce
for
and a
war,
half.
soldier.
I know in my father's time, they had like cattle trucks, which was like Vietnam to the 90s. Now this is supposed to be excuse me, sorry. It's supposed to be 1985. They should have cattle trucks, but I guess these guys, they're using the 5-ton here. 5 tons, how much is that? Isn't like 1 ton 2,000 pounds? So is
We're here.
that what it
Disembark.
is? If this is 5 ton, then that means this is like 10,000. I think. I don't know. What are you doing? The son of a bitch. I was trying to read that. Okay, this is the M107 8A1P2. Okay. Eject. Okay, so that's its nomenclature, but I don't know the actual name of the truck. You know what it kind of looks like from the front while that guy's head is shifting. You know what? Give me a second. I have on the side over here a list of stuff that we studied while in while we did a warrant officer basic leader course. And there was vehicles we had to do for vehicle identification. This truck looks like, give me a second. Kind of. Yep. Okay, so that's what it... Okay. So I said it kind of looks like, right? So making sure I got my words correct. I didn't want to say what it is. It's supposed to be, I want to say in the first game, because I wasn't really paying attention, this is supposed to be a 5-ton truck. What it kind of looks like, though, let's see what we got here. It looks like the M142 HIMARS, but it only looks like it. The reason why I say that's because of this design for the front end right here, because the HIMARS has got this angle here, flat, and then it's got the 2 windows up at top, and then it's got this front end looking thing that looks like a sad face. And to me, that's what I wrote on here, was the M142 HIMARS has this sad looking face. So when you see the front of this, it looks like a sad face, and that's what it looks like, is the M142 HIMARS. But the HIMARS is an artillery piece. Yeah, it's supposed to be an artillery piece. This is not an artillery piece. This is transportation. But this is the M1078A1P2. That's what it. 2 wheels, or 2 sets axles, 2 sets of axles. Yeah, whatever. Let's get on with our training.
Now it's time to prove
I'm still kind of
yourself.
bummed out that our
Armstrong,
uniforms
you
don't
seem to
match
think you're pretty
the
good.
era.
Well, you can go first. Run along the lane between the 2 blocks, then back to us. Get moving, soldier.
We do have armor though, but
Go for it, kid!
Okay, Armstrong, now run back. Move! Move!
Well, Armstrong, that wasn't bad. Now the rest of you. Go! Go! Go!
alright, so getting through training. Next, this should be the rifles.
Pretty good, man. Okay, get back in the truck. Time for the firing range.
Oh, you know what else too? Because I just noticed. You see those bumps on the side of the vehicle? There's another vehicle. There's another vehicle that has that feature. So let me see. What was it? It has those bumps. We had a Captain Johnson that was teaching us, and it says if you see bumps on the side while you're trying to identify a vehicle, it's this vehicle. The Striker. Yeah, the Striker has those little bumps and dimples and shit. Excuse me, pimples, not dimples. But this is definitely not to be confused with the Striker. The Striker's got like this very, very angled front end. You would know what the Striker looks like. Like, as a matter of fact, the Striker's got more wheels anyway, so can't confuse it. But it does have those like pimple things, those bolts, but it's more angled. And it doesn't have this.
A good soldier must be fast, exact.
So did you
and
guys hear
effective
that
with his
they're
weapon. Armstrong
they're coming
and
with the
Peterson, you're up
pinks and
first.
greens for
Run to
the
crates and
military?
pick up some ammo.
There's a lot of people that like the look, but then there's also a lot of people that like it and don't want it because we just got our ASUs, our blues uniforms, and people are like, I just bought the damn things. Why do I now need to go get another set? So then there's people now saying we're probably going to keep the blues and then we're going to add the pinks and greens. And then people are like, why do we need so many uniforms? And they're like, well, here's the idea. You would use your the blues uniforms that you got. That's like Civil War era looking because it's got like blue pants but like a black top with a white inside, white inner shirt. You would use that for like formal occasions and like maybe those kind of things. But then you'd use the pinks and greens for like everyday office use and studies and stuff. And then your duty uniform you would use when you're not like in studies or in the office or something like that. And I thought that was a pretty cool idea, because with me that means I would use the pinks and greens more often, which is pretty cool. I like the pinks and greens. That's the point that I'm getting at. The pinks and greens look cool because it looks just like the World War II era. There's slight differences, modifications that will allow you to wear your unit patch on the side, have it sewn in and all that. It looks cool. In all honesty, though, I don't know why they call it pinks and greens. I see the green, but I don't know where the pink comes from. Maybe the tan for the pants has a hint of pink in it that makes it look tannish compared to what would be brown. I don't know. I really don't know why they call it pinks and greens. But the uniform looks cool. You should look at it online if you haven't seen it. It looks just like a World War II era Army suit that you would see Army soldiers wear. You would have like these brown Oxford looking shoes You'd have the tan pants or whatever, and then you'd have like the green top with the belt, because there was pictures of individuals wearing the top without the belt, but it's gonna come with the belt. So you'd have a belt over your jacket while you have a belt holding your pants in, but you won't see the belt holding the pants, obviously, because the top covers it. But you'd have the belt over the jacket to look like, put it in. It looks nice, part of the uniform. The uniform itself looks pretty good. The inner shirt, is it's a similar color to the pants almost. It looks really cool. And I think you get to wear the standard or the traditional saucer caps that they had back in the day, which to me looks cool. I think there might also be an option for those weird flight caps, but I don't like the flight caps. It's like an Air Force thing. And the Air Force so badly wants to push themselves away from the Army. They're like, oh, we're not the Army, we are us, and all that. Which kind of annoys me, because then that brings up the all-around idea of, Air Force wants to get rid of this, but they don't want to give it to the Army because they don't like the Army. Like, for example, I've talked about a number of times about the A-10, the A-10 Warthog, A-10 Thunderbolt, right? The Air Force has it. They want to get rid of it, but they don't want the Army to have it, because they know if they get rid of the A-10, the Army is going to be right there saying, hey, we'll take it, because guess what? That's a perfect air-to-ground support aircraft. And the Air Force is like, no, we're in charge of all fixed-wing stuff in the air. Not all Air Force people talk like that. I know an Air Force person or two that's retired and currently in. They're cool. I'm just saying overall, the Air Force needs to, stop bitching. Because seriously, the idea that I know about the Air Force is that they're about air superiority. The A-10 is not air superiority.
Target 1 in the first lane destroyed. Target 2
Dude, stop that.
in the first lane destroyed. Target 1 in the third lane destroyed. Target 3 in the first lane destroyed.
Now, I try to go for headshots, but in reality, you would not. You would go for center mass. You would go for center mass, because it just makes it so much easier. Because in real life, this is what's happening. You're doing this. You're not perfectly aiming. You're always going to be moving.
Armstrong. Now, the rest of you.
You can do the practice of holding your breath, doing it right and all that. You'll get a one good shot target in and all that, but it's difficult. Like, I had to certify with the M9. M9 was tough. Well, actually, no, the M9 was not tough. You know what sucked about the M9 range was the M9 ranges are not perfect. You'll hit a target, and your spotter will see that you hit the target, but it won't register. Oh, wow, that's an old-ass aircraft. But but the system won't register that you hit the target, because these targets have been so pelted with M9 rounds that there's a literal likely chance that your round will go through a freaking hole and not register a hit and won't take the target down.
You scared the hell out of me.
So you're not going to get 30 out of 30. It's going to be terrible. I passed. I'm not going to say the number, but I passed.
Sarah's fine too,
and it was more than the minimum, but it's definitely not what I
seen her for
expected.
months.
I was so pissed because my partner, my spotter, who was a cop,
Terrible.
he's a civilian cop.
What's this all about?
He was like, you definitely missed one target. And I was like, yeah, I most definitely did.
You're
He was like,
kidding
okay,
me.
just making sure you understood. I don't want to
No,
tell you and
we ain't heard
be one of those guys that didn't like to hear that. I was like, no. I know I
Oh,
missed one
Jesus,
for sure.
George. There's
And I was
10,000
like,
people in
maybe
that town.
possible. I missed up to 3. He was like, yeah, I was thinking that too. So you got yourself 27 at the
They can't just have
at the
stopped
least.
talking to us.
I was like, all right, cool. We go up and I get my number and I was like, oh,
Well, I guess I'll
okay,
be right
wow.
over.
Everyone else was pissed too
And I
because
think you
none of the
spooks
numbers that they
promised me the
expected,
quiet
because they were
life out
counting, they didn't get. Even when targets got hit and went down, the registration didn't pop up that they got those numbers. So it was like, what the hell? It wasn't too bad though, because we all generally did better than the regular officers, because regular officers are like fresh recruits from, wow, I just saw that square, or fresh recruits at like right out of the universities and colleges, right, with their 4-year degrees. But I'm no different than them because I'm in the same boat as them. I am a street to seat. I got my, wow, that guy jumped out early. I got my degree and then I joined the military, but to be a warrant officer instead. So I did like the opposite of what they did. They went and got their degrees to go be regular officers. I got mine.
Boys. We're ready for you.
Oh, those are the Black Op guys. Yeah,
Nice
okay.
to see you again, James.
James
You'll
Kasalski.
be
Yeah, their
briefed
uniforms
further
look right.
en route. Good luck.
But I got my degree and I went on to be a warrant officer instead of a regular officer, which I think is cool. From the street to Cedar, and everyone knows it. I let everyone know. Everyone has But yeah, we have fun. So, like, yeah, sweet things. So I got friends. It's pretty cool. Let me see. What was I saying before about Air Force and A-10? Yeah, so they want to get rid of it, but they don't want to get rid of it and have us take it. So now they're holding on to it, and it sucks. I hate that so much. Just because they have this animosity of them being the only people that should fly in the sky. I hate that. I hate that so much. And I think somebody was asking, like, what would happen if the Army got rid of the warrant officers and the Air Force decides to take everything and anything that has anything to do with flying? And then people were asking and saying, like, oh, so yeah, what would happen to the warrant officers in the Army? And then they were like, well, the Air Force would pick you guys up. Oh, well, what rank would we be, though? Would we be regular officers? And they're like, probably not, because you guys are technical experts. You only focus in on one area of study. You guys would probably be NCOs. And I was like, what? That's kind of effed up.
Rub the sleep out of those eyes, gentlemen.
But yeah,
Colonel Blake will bring
I was
you a 10
I was very annoyed about that idea, because I would love to be an A-10 pilot for the Army, though. And it's a perfect air-to-ground support aircraft.
Thank you,
That's
Sergeant.
not air superiority.
Okay, men, at ease.
For us, we would just take the
At 0700
air-to-air
hours
missiles off, because I'm
yesterday
pretty sure the
morning,
Air Force has
contact
those,
was lost
and we'll just
with
put ground
Everett,
missiles,
the
you know,
easternmost
like
island
air-to-ground
in this
missiles,
group.
and keep that cannon that's
The
on
last
there.
communications that came from the island
And while we're at it,
reported
let's take
heavy
the C-130s, because that's a
military activity
perfect
in and over the
air-to-ground
streets. From what
support
we can
aircraft. That's not
ascertain,
air superiority.
Everett has
To
been
make room for what the Air
occupied by
Force
a
is trying to do, because they're trying
hostile
to
force, origin
just
unknown.
keep up with the F-22 and the
As the only
F-35.
NATO presence in
I mean,
the area,
it only makes sense
it
to
is
me,
our
but
job to respond.
Air Force wants to do
Choppers
that
are waiting
crap.
to ferry you to Everett. Any questions?
I'm noticing
Sir,
this guy does
you
not
say
have a
the
patch
origin
on
of the
left side of his
occupying
uniform.
force is unknown. How can that be, sir? Hasn't anyone, spoken to them?
Believe me, we've tried, soldier. Our intelligence assets in this area are limited. I'm sure Washington is diverting
Yeah,
satellites
he
to
should
the
have
area
like
like
a
crazy.
patch on the
But
left
this
side.
has caught them by surprise, and it's going to be a while before the first bird passes over. For our part, we sent a couple of helicopters to take a look yesterday. Neither returned.
Sir, there's not many of us, and it sounds like there's a heck of a lot of them. Should we get some more of our guys over here before we try
Apart from
anything?
that, though, talking about the
Carrier
Cobra,
battle
I
group
had to
is
do
heading for the
a
area
study,
at flank
history
speed,
study
but it's still
on
a
aircraft,
few
and I chose the
days away.
Cobra
And
because
the longer we wait,
all the choices
longer
they had,
those
I
guys,
liked them
whoever
all,
they
to
are,
be honest.
have to dig in
There's
and
some that I really
reinforce.
didn't want to do, but I
Washington
liked it,
wants
and
to
then I
move
was like,
fast
okay, I got a choice
before
between the
Moscow
Huey or the
gets
Cobra. Which do I
involved
want
if
to
they
do?
aren't
And I chose the
already.
Cobra. Turned to find
We're
out that
going to
the
have to
Cobra
do
is
the
pretty much the
best
same
we
thing as
can
a
with
Huey.
what we've got.
Originally, the Cobra was
Those
brought out
choppers
by
are
Bell
waiting,
as
soldiers.
the
You'll be
Bell
briefed further en route. Good luck.
207, and then they moved it up to the Bell 209 when they modified it. And it's basically a cut down version of the Huey, because the Huey was the gunship during Vietnam, but they needed an aircraft to replace it because the Huey was too slow as a gunship and it would get shot down like crazy. So then Bell took the Huey and made it instead of having the co-pilot and pilot right next to each other, they made it tandem, so where the gunner's in the front, the pilot's in the back, and it was tandem like that, and it made the size much shorter. It made the size of the Huey a smaller target, and originally it was called the Huey Cobra because it's part of the same family, the Huey family Cobra. But it wasn't a perfect chopper. It was an interim chopper for Vietnam. The Army just needed a chopper real quick to take over as a gunship, and they got it. with the Huey Cobra, and the Huey Cobra lasted up until like I think 1995, 97. I think was the last time they used them. It did well for an interim chopper, and the start of Vietnam, it was attack, hunter killer, support, all that, and it was built with the same mechanical mechanical structure that the Huey had. It had the same transmission, engine, everything, and eventually they started upgrading it. It started out with two 7.62 millimeter guns, and then it could also be mounted with a grenade launcher instead up at the front. Then they changed it to like a 20 millimeter chain gun, and it did pretty good. I think it could also have a minigun on one of the struts off to the side, but I think after 50,000 rounds, they sent the Huey Cobra stateside because it would just, the rattling of that chain gun or minigun would just destroy the struts on the inside of the Huey Cobra. So there was that. And that was told by me from a Huey Cobra pilot, or Cobra pilot, I should say. He was like, yeah, man, I flew those back in Vietnam, and they were great. They had their problems. It was an interim chopper, and I was like, oh yeah. I was just doing a study on that for a history lesson. He was like, oh yeah, did you know that after 50,000 rounds of a chain gun or a minigun on the left strut that they usually put it on, they put it on the left wing of the chopper next to the missiles, because that was like the preferred choice for the targeting system, I guess, that it would just destroy the pretty much like the linkages and struts on the inside of the chopper. I was like, that I did not know. He was like, yeah, after 50,000 rounds, we sent them back stateside, and then we just get new ones. He was like, we had about 1,000 some odd choppers. I was like, yeah, I think I read it was like 1,117. He was like, yep, that's right, that's the number. And I was like, oh snap. It was pretty cool talking to him. He was a retired helicopter pilot. He was like, I think he said he did, was it 20? He did 20 years? I don't remember how many years, but I know he said he had like about 10,000 hours total flight time, which to me was a lot. Some people might be like, oh, that's not a lot. Others might be like, that's a hell of a lot. To me, it's a lot. All right, that's a lot. And he said out of the 5,000, he was an instructor pilot. I was like, that is awesome. But yeah, the Huey was had a large role in Vietnam. It was attack, it was support, it was escort, hunter killer. It did a whole lot of stuff. It even did a recovery mission. Actually, it did a recovery mission in Vietnam. There was a Sabre pilot that went down, and this Huey Cobra comes in and sees him. It was a captain. What was his name? Captain Ronald Ferguson or something like that. He went down. The Huey Cobra came in, saw him, went down, and there's a door on the modded on the upgraded versions of the Hueys, of the Cobras, on the right side. That's that opens up, and it's like a box, like an open hollow box behind the chain gun that you can store stuff in there, right? Well, this guy jumps in there, hangs on to the door while it takes off. So that was like the first time ever a Cobra rescues somebody. It can save it could save a person. And I was like, hey, shit, yeah, look at that. I could do that with an Apache if I end up being an Apache pilot. I mean, I might not have a door anywhere for somebody to hang on, but I'll be like, hey, just grab onto the wheel and I'll get you out of here. I'll make the trips just to save you, because I'm just that kind of a person. I don't see the need to just stay back. And let's say if a hypothetical situation comes up and I end up being an Apache pilot, God willing, I hope. Not that I'm more prone to be an Apache pilot. I don't care what pilot I end up being, whether Black Hawk, Chinook, Apache, any one of them. But the point is, if it's Apache, I don't see where they're gonna be like, oh, we can't save them. You know, our Chinooks are out and our Blackhawks are out, and all we got is just Apaches back here. I'm gonna be like, hell, I'll go out there, and they're like, how are you gonna do that? But like, simple. He'll hang on to the wheel or something. I don't know. I would do that. just to save somebody. Why not? But let me see for the task. Sees Morton. Yep, that's a thing. Yep, sure is right there. Briefing, team, lead, corporal, and private. Okay. Ducks, key bindings. Continue. So yeah, Vietnam, they did that. After Vietnam, we had
I don't know, Foul.
Don't be a spy. The Russians wouldn't dare. Now with us next door, I'm scared. What's that stink? You know your shorts was lousy.
I'm learning. You can tell I'm street to sea. Yeah, so after Vietnam, what was it? Was it 83 for Grenada?
When we reach the village, we'll wait for
Operation
the air
Urgent Fury.
support.
They had
Once the
Cobras
enemy's
in
armored
there.
units have been destroyed,
4 of them,
we'll
I
move
think,
in
and of the
seize
4,
village.
two of them went down
No
assaulting
heroics, okay? This is not an
Fort
exercise. We're facing
Frederick
a
or something
real
like
enemy
that.
this time.
due to anti-aircraft, but that was mostly because of poor information given out. Because Urgent Fury was I mean, it was a success, but like militarily, leadership-wise, was not perfect. And then after that was 85 with Panama, Just Cause. They were used there.
Move 300 meters front.
I think after Panama, we had... What did we have? It was something in 89.
Hostiles! 8. Target that soldier. Northwest.
APC 400 meters northeast. West.
And then 240 Bravo? Bro, give me that. guessing this is the replacement for the M6. What the hell did you just do?
I've got it. 7, heal that soldier. 3, get support. Roger that.
I didn't know you could reload while running, especially a machine gun like this. Ah, see, my stamina, it's, you can't run very far. Oh, boy. I'm sure you could probably run far when you have, first aid. Dude, that's what's up. What's in this backpack? More ammo. Oh, and I can't because it isn't. Nope, you can only have one of these at a time. Okay, I like that. That is so cool. We got a backpack with stuff in it. And then you get different armor pieces. Oh, dude, and apparently, I guess this is the effectiveness of the armor. Oh, dude, and there's an ammo pouch for the armor. Oh, this is awesome, dude. This kicks ass. What do I hear? All right. AK-74M. Armor level 4? Dude, you got better armor than us. Oh, but you, wait, is it, no, hold on, I was gonna say, maybe shit here. Can I take that?
On the move.
I can.
I'm covering.
I probably shouldn't. I'll take that. We'll stay looking like US. What do you have?
Moving.
AK-7.
Covering. Go.
You guys don't have anything particular. We need to get into the
On the
fight.
move.
Not them, but me. I usually make a lot of kills.
Rifleman, 200 meters.
All right, I got you. Lay down.
6, attack that rifle. West.
I usually make better on kills. Let's try getting in. We need to lay this gun down.
Attack that rifleman. Front.
Rifleman, 200 meters. Front.
Shit.
Man, 300 meters. West.
6, fire at that soldier. West. 3, fire at that soldier. West. Engaging. 7, attack that rifleman. West.
Rifleman, 300 meters. West.
Copy. I'm on it. 6, fire at that soldier. Engaging target. Engaging target. 4, fire at that soldier. West. Engaging target. Target down.
Rifleman, 300 meters. West.
1, 5, fire at that soldier. West. Engaging. Engaging target. Man, 200 meters. Got them ahead.
Soldier, 75 meters. Just ahead.
7, attack that rifle. West. Engaging target. Scratch 1. Target's down.
I don't know why that guy didn't hit me. I did leave it on regular difficulty, so it's not on like easy or novice or whatever.
Area clear.
I wish there was a single fire for this. It would be much more accurate with a single shot on the machine gun. Obviously, being a machine gun, you want it fast. I'm still trying to think of the operation in 89. I know there was one in 91. There was Somalia. There was
Area clear.
there's a bunch of places, but yeah. But in all the other operations, they ended up being just escort. And then the Apache was on the scene, and it ended up taking over where the Cobra, where the Cobra left out on. Because it was designed, the Apache was designed as that attack chopper. The Huey Cobra was just an interim. They needed an answer real quick. They needed something. We need an attack chopper fast. And the Huey gunship isn't doing it. So then they had the Cobra. So it was never meant to stay for too long, but it lasted a really long time. Now me, I like the Cobra. I like the Cobra more than the Apache. I would much rather fly a Cobra than an Apache. But that's another thing. That's not how they keep it around. I mean, the Comanche would have been another great addition, but ends up not working out that way now. Hell yeah, haha. We came in this 5-ton truck, M1A1 there.
Listen up, Alpha Squad. We need to cover the village now. Get yourselves in position. Out.
Contact! That rifle, southwest. 9. Target that soldier. Target that man. Front. Rifleman, 100 meters. Front. 7. Target that man. Front.
Man, 100
Block button.
Need help!
You have a first aid kit on you?
Report position. Grid 072-103. 6. Heal that soldier. 2.
This one, there's like a button where you
3.
can walk.
Patch yourself up.
Rifleman, 75 meters front.
Okay. You died. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. Get that autosave. What was the button to walk? Oh. I need to find this button. Because I'm noticing even just regular running and I try to aim again, I'm all over the place. What's the command for walk? Left control C. Okay.
Contact. Soldier 300 meters south. Get an enemy. Rifle 300 meters. Bearing 195. 8-3. Target that man. South. 4-7. Target that soldier. South. 6-5. Target that man. South. 2. Target that man. South. 9. Target that man. South. 7. Target that rifle. South. 3. Target that There's an enemy. Man, 300 meters south. Target that rifle. South. 8-3. Target that man. South. 7-6. Target that soldier. South. 2-5. Engage that man. South. 4. Target that rifle. South. 6. Target that man. Southwest. 5. Target that soldier. South. 6. Target that man. South. 9. Target that rifle. South. 3. Target that rifle. South. 6. Target that medic! 7. Run. Need help! Man! Run! 9. Target that rifle. Southwest. 7. Target that rifle. South. 8. 6. Target that soldier. Southwest. 8. Target that soldier. Run. 4. Target the medic. South. Rifle. 300 meters. South. 5. Target that man. South. 2. Target the medic. South. 200 meters. Rifle. 400 meters. Bearing 210. 8. Target that man. South. Hostile down. We got a man down. 5. Target that man. South. 2. Target that man. Southwest. Rifleman, 300 meters, bearing 210. 5. Target that soldier. Southwest. 6. Target that soldier. South. 2. Target that rifleman. Southwest. I see movement. Medic, 300 meters. South. Soldier, 300 meters, bearing 210. 8. 2. Target that man. Southwest.
It's hard to tell when my rounds are going because I don't see like when it hits the ground. So
Target that man. South. 9. Target that soldier. Southwest. Target the medic. Run. 8. Target that soldier. Southwest.
change the elevation.
Southwest.
Okay, so if he is
Target that soldier. Southwest. Six. Heal that soldier. 2. Get support. Understood. 8. Patch yourself up. Copy that.
Listen up, Alpha Squad. We need to cover the village now. Get yourselves in position. Now.
200 meters. Run. Ready. Ready. Hey, 300 meters. Bearing 210.
shit. Oh. Oh, damn. Did I just see a round go over me?
Move 100 meters. Run.
Do some damage to this. Get rid of him. Incapacitated him. The vehicle's still on. The driver, gunner, and the boat are still inside. With my name on it, son. Get in there and take out this team.
Listen, grid 070100.
You died. Yeah, shit happens. Ever on. Damn it, we gotta do this again.
Man, 300 meters, bearing 195. Hold, target that man. South. Contact, man, 300 meters, bearing 195. 8-7, target that soldier. Southwest. 3-6, target that soldier. South. 5-2, target that rifle. Southwest. 7, target that rifle. South. 6, target that rifle. South. 9, target that soldier. Southwest. 2, target that man.
Listen up, Alpha Squad. We need to cover the village now. Get yourselves in position. Out.
Move 200 meters, front. 7, fire at that soldier, southwest.
Contact. Tank, 400 meters, bearing 210.
Engaging target. He's down.
shells hit it and kind of like explode with fragments all over the place. So I'm wondering if in this game there's such a thing as ricochets and bounces. I'm just so pissed that I can't steal it.
Running low on ammo. Rearm. Ready.
I mean, what am I gonna do in T-72? Did I just see the turret fly? But yeah, what am I gonna do in a T-72 when I got a bunch of T-80s coming in? Oh, I could do a lot in a T-72. Trust me on that. First thing I would do is take that tank up over the ridge, right up on that crest, peek the turret over, aim the gun down, and start blasting on them.
I've got it.
Just start taking them out one by one, only showing the turret. Because I think what I saw was true, that there are shells that could bounce and ricochet. I could probably win that engagement while these tanks just get in the way, becoming cannon fodder.
Contact. Soldier.
You know you guys left... Alright, whatever. What's up?
To the rear.
He's dead.
Engaging target.
You saw how fast he was to shoot me? Take your AK. What's this?
Out of ammo.
Bravo, Charlie, this is Papa Bear. We have T-80 tanks incoming from us. Retreat immediately. Out.
No, I heard him say retreat, but I wasn't paying attention.
Target acquired.
I thought that was a bad guy about ready to cap.
Eyes on target. Target acquired.
Inventory real quick.
Target acquired.
Somebody's shooting.
Target acquired.
What do we have? What do you have? A scarf? Who cares about a scarf?
Target acquired.
What do you have?
Target in sight.
Заряжаю.
Bro. The fuck was he doing in here? What do you got on you?
Report position. Grid 071.
Okay.
103.
Come on, 4-leaf, let's book it. You know what? Just cause. Where you going for, Leaf? Come on. There we go. What'd I tell about you? What'd I tell you about playing with grenades? Dude, my head could like swivel all the way around like that? What the shit? I'm like a freaking owl, you see that? It's like... What'd I tell you about playing with grenades? It's the funniest movie. Well, it's not the funniest, it's one of the funniest movies.
What's your position? Grid 071.
Grid 0.7.
What's your
What the hell are you doing, boy? Stop that. Okay, it says 400. Is there a way to reset that? You see how it says 440 meters there? I think there's a way to reset that. But how do you reset it? How would you reset that? I know the reason why to reset it would be like for your sighting, your sights. Man. Yay, we're done. I'll probably go ahead and stop the video here as soon as this video finishes. It's pretty good. I like this mod. It's legit. Oh shit. Alright. Let's go ahead and stop the video here. It's just going to be saved at this point. Yeah, we'll do that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will continue on with the series because I do love this Cold War stuff. It's pretty cool. The Ninja Stalker, and I'm signing out.